Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Let's get right into it. First, if you're not part of my Discord or our Discord, you go to soc-platform.com. That's our Discord. You get 7 free days when you verify. Let me tell you, we have my market updates. We have Love teaching Romeo's live streams, and we have a new member, Tukey, who killed it yesterday. Every play but one was profitable, over 500%. So if you're part of our Discord, make sure you check out his room. With that said, a lot on tap today. 8:30 a.m. GDP numbers come out. Powell speaking at 1:30 p.m. So we're going to hear how hawkish or dovish he is. We had job numbers come out this morning. So this is the catch. ADP came out with their actual job numbers. Job numbers increased 127,000 jobs. Estimates were at 197. So will the Fed like that? Yes, which is why you saw a little bit of a market movement and the SPY went up to 0.3%. Now, why did the SPY just drop? GDP numbers just came out. So the SPY went from 0.35% all the way back to flat. Right now it's trading at 0.1% up. What would I tell you? To be extremely cautious. Why? Because we have a lot on tap. I just mentioned GDP numbers this morning. Powell speaking at 1:30. Market can react either way. Tomorrow, PCE numbers, which again will have impact on what Powell and the Fed say. Friday, job numbers, actual non-farm payroll job numbers, probably an increase. The increase would be bad. So again, that would drive the Fed to raise rates. Then next week, Wednesday, CPI numbers, again, could be an issue. Fed could push rates higher, which would put downward pressure on the market. Next, China protests. Now, we heard that China might change their zero COVID policy, and the Chinese market on Monday went up 5%, and yesterday went up 2%. However, they haven't changed their COVID policies. There are still protests in 9 major cities, larger protests than what happened years ago in Tiananmen Square when China brought in their army and many students died. I don't think that will happen again. They're looking to get a better hold on it, but still, that's a problem. So when Chinese stocks are going up, do I trust it? No. So I'm still on the sidelines. Next, railroad strikes set to take effect December 9th, right? That's an issue. Why? Because as the railroad strike is looming, there's already been canceled service. You have long-term or long travel Amtrak canceled all of their passengers. When you're transporting hazardous materials, that has already stopped. There are things stopping 4 days out, 3 days out, 2 days out, 1 day out. December 9th is the day that the strike will take effect, and the U.S. economy will lose $2 billion a day. Now, is that automatic? No. Why? Because Congress and the House can step in. Now, they've done this 17 or 18 times in the past, where you have a union ready to strike that will disrupt service in America, and Congress and the Senate step in and they say, you're not allowed to strike. Yes, they tell the union you're not allowed to strike. So that could save the railroad. That could save us from $2 billion a day. But if that doesn't happen, and the union people will not be happy if Biden and his people step in and say, you guys can't strike, then they'll start claiming, they'll go to court. There'll be a whole mess of shit going on. Okay. So I don't really trust the markets right now. There's so much uncertainty and pending uncertainty, which is why volume has been down on the SPY and volume down on the market. Most of the money is on the sidelines. The smart money is on the sidelines waiting for either the Santa Claus rally or a bear run at the end of the year. I'm going to give you both case scenario very shortly. Next, oil reserves. All right, so the White House has come out and said, we're going to replenish our depleted oil reserves. Now, oil reserves, which are usually like 700 million barrels, are down to like 360 million barrels. So we're down like close to 50%. So the U.S. is looking to restock their oil when oil gets under $72 per barrel. And they're saying they will not start that until February. Okay, so that really shouldn't have any impact on oil or anything these days. Now, long term, let's get into the SPY and market direction. Okay, long term, meaning 6 weeks. Let's go from now until the end of the year. Let's say 5 weeks. Okay. Bull case scenario. Bull case scenarios, we're seeing consolidation in the market. Job numbers come down. CPI comes down. People say, okay, the Fed can lighten up. They can do a pivot. And again, they will be speaking, I believe, around the 10th or the 11th. something to that extent. So again, until then, expect volatility, expect uncertainty. I'm going to talk about SPY support and resistance levels because that is how you trade. As it's going down, you're looking for support. As it's going up, you're looking for resistance so you know when to enter in and exit out of your positions. Now, I'm going to tell you about my troubles trading because maybe you can relate. Again, I don't have a crystal ball. So my problems, which I acknowledge day after day, is I'm early into positions. I'm always early, but that's okay. I can fix that. I can delay my time on entry. Now, here's the other key, and maybe some of you do this. Flip-flop, okay? We've all heard the term flip-flop. You're on one side, you go to the other side. Give you an example. Yesterday, my trades, I entered into what the fuck did I enter into? AMD puts yesterday. Why? Because I zoomed out, and I looked at Discord, and I looked at the big money, and big money is telling me AMD is going down. However, I'm looking for instant gratification. So I got into puts yesterday. I sold, I secured profit at maybe 20%. I left 40% on the table. After I secured profit, 5 minutes later, it happens every time. Boom, ADP dropped a whole nother $1. But here's the catch. I went from puts on ADP into calls on Uber. So I flipped my position, meaning I was bearish on the market, and then I went from a bearish position to a bullish position within 1 hour. So that's market timing. That's crazy. How could I zoom out and say, okay, I'm bearish, and then all of a sudden I'm bullish? So I do that a lot of times. I consider that over trading. So it all compiles into one category, over trading. I look to overtrade. I exit out of a position like AMD puts too soon. I left 40, 50% on the table. And what do? I overtrade. I enter into another position that is counter to my first position because I flip-flop. Now I'm in calls. So my calls took a hurt, maybe like 16, 17% as of close yesterday. So rather than being extremely profitable, I had a good day, but I struggled. So I know a lot of you suffer from the same thing. So my suggestion is 5-minute rule. Allow your positions to roll out a little. Zoom out and say, why did I enter into this trade? Because when I entered into my Uber calls yesterday, I did not have a complete strategy. So that's where I was lacking. All right, back to the SPY, back to ranges today. Let's go for it, okay? So again, market at lighter volume. What could that be? That could be consolidation, meaning if the market decides to take inflow and start buying, it's going to shoot through the roof. It's going to break the 398 on the SPY again. And as we sit pre-market, let me just bring it up. Let's see where we're sitting. We're sitting pre-market on the SPY at 395.56. So the market's up just slightly, okay? So again, we could still go down. Let's look at the SPY last 2 days. Outflow, decent volume, more volume than Wednesday and Friday. And then we go back to Tuesday, Monday of last week. Again, outflow, but the SPY is not going down very much. So what does that tell me? It tells me that it's consolidation, meaning if the market turns bullish, and I'll give you my bull case scenario again. Bull case scenarios, job numbers come in weak, PCE comes in down, so that means inflation is settling. If that happens, the Fed will be correct in what they're doing, so they could potentially ease up. If they make an announcement that they're easing up or they're thinking about becoming more dovish, the market will explode north. So be prepared for that. However, let's say job numbers come in strong. Let's say inflation is still on the rise. PCE comes in a little higher. CPI next week comes in higher. What could happen? Well, the Fed, you're doing a great job, but you still have to be extremely aggressive. If you're extremely aggressive, bear case scenario, instead of the SPY breaking 400 and going to 420, Christmas rally, end of the year, if we see a Christmas sell-off, meaning December's a tough month, October, November, Dow up 14%, 7%, it's up 3% this month. So that's 24% in less than 3 months. So let's say December flips and we turn bearish all of a sudden, and we still are battling inflation. Now we're talking about recession and things of that nature. What could happen? Bear case scenario, SPY 360. So yes, you're looking at like potentially an 8% move down. So again, good news, bull run, 7% higher by the end of the year. Bear scenario, down 8% at the end of the year. Again, we don't have to guess. You're not have to say one or the other. You can't say I'm a bull or I'm a bear. You watch the markets. You process the data. You say, okay, job numbers came in low, Fed less aggressive, markets can be strong. 2-year, 10-year US dollar going down, markets can be strong. Remember, the 2-year interest rate, the 10-year interest rate, the US dollar, they go up, downward pressure on the market. They go down, market could go higher. It's a very simple thing. So before you enter a trade, you look at the 2-year. Google it. You do marketwatch.com 2-year interest rate. Boom, it pops right up. You can go, okay, this morning, and I'll do it right now. You could say, okay, this morning, let's see where the interest rates are. The 2-year. Oh my God, see right here. What happened? It just spiked. Can you guys see that? So I'm going to get an update on that. But we were at 4.46 yesterday, and now it looks like we're 4.52. So that's a whole 5 basis points higher. I'm assuming the 10-year looks something similar. So again, I'm going to look at the 10-year. Again, you could see the spike right there. So we just saw a spike. That's probably why the SPY dropped from 0.3% up or 0.35% up now. And now pre-market, it is at, let's just see where we are, 0.11%. So that's like a 0.25%. That's a major move. That's a whole dollar on the SPY. So again, what could we possibly see today? Now we'll zoom in and we'll talk about today's trading. What could we possibly see? Well, what have we seen the past 2 days? The past 2 days, what do? We pumped in the morning, started up here, right? Continued up here, and then drop. Yesterday, we had a bit of a reversal. But before the reversal, the other day, 2 days ago, we did the same thing. We pumped. We almost had like a crown, like if you play chess, one of those knights. I guess it's not a rook. It's a knight. So, and then we dropped. And then we kept dropping. So there was no reversal 2 days ago. We kept dropping. So what do I expect? Something similar. What could happen? 9:30, 9:45. Oh, we drop a little. The market's going to drop. No, it isn't fake out. 10:10, 10:30, 10:50 a.m. Still looking good. Everybody's like, oh, shit, it's going to be a bullish day. No, volume's light. What could potentially happen? Drop, just like we saw the past 2 days. So again, have a strategy. My strategy today, which I'm going to share with you guys, I've got a few stocks that I'm looking at, and I'll mention each stock and how I'm going to. Oh, I like that, Davy Jones. Crown reversal. That's a good one. We'll tag that. So anyway, what am I looking to trade today? Well, I've been mentioning stocks lately, so I'm going to mention them again. These are on my watch list. So again, I've got Apple, Tesla. I'm not looking to trade either one of those. Well, I might trade Apple. Why? Let's talk about Apple real quick, because Apple makes up 7% of the SPY. It makes up 12% of the NASDAQ 100, which is the top 100 stocks. So Apple trading, it's at 141.77 pre-market. It's up like 0.5% or a little under. Understand yesterday's low on Apple, 140.36, $140.36. Why is that important? Apple has support at 140. The next level higher is 145. Then the next level higher was 150. Let's remember 3 days ago on Friday, it was 151. It's dropped 10 points, which is 7%. Why? Because Apple plants in China are struggling. The protests, the workers are claiming they're not getting paid. They have to sleep over in the factories. Oh, here's the number that came out yesterday, which fooled me about China, okay? China up 5% on Monday, 2% yesterday. What did China come out with at 8:30 p.m. last night? Their PMI numbers, their manufacturing numbers. Guess what? China's manufacturing numbers were way down. So wait, you're telling me the Chinese economy is going up 7% in the past 2 trading days, yet their manufacturing numbers are down. Geez, sounds like recession. Sounds like I don't trust China. What's interesting about that? I mentioned the ADP job numbers this morning. So increase of 127,000 jobs. The estimate from ADP was 197, right? So that's good. They missed less jobs. That's good. Weaker economy. Fed could do less. Rates go down. Market goes up. But here's the catch. In the job numbers, when I broke them down, hospitality, meaning hotels, cab drivers, restaurant staff, up 100,000, can be seasonal, right? What numbers were down 100,000? Manufacturing, U.S. manufacturing jobs down 100,000 jobs. So we're manufacturing less product. Manufacturing less product, recession. So again, I'm a non-believer. I'm a day trader. Here's the catch about day trading. All right, let's just interrupt everything. Here's a good tip for you all, okay? When you're looking to enter a position, if you're looking to play SPY calls or puts or SPX calls or puts, and you're looking to make a quick day trade, then understand you have to show patience. You have to be on the sidelines until you're exactly ready to enter. Meaning, If you think the SPY can trade between, and I'll give you my estimates from yesterday. My estimates yesterday, 398 on the top, 393.30 on the bottom. So as the SPY was sitting at 394 or 395, it's impossible to enter into a position. You can if you want to flip a coin and guess, but here's the catch. I tell you my strategy. So I'm calling the low end at 393.80. The low was 393.30. But if I enter into SPY calls yesterday, which is a terrible thing because the market was getting beat up, but I go off my strategy, which is 393 would be the bottom, 393 and change. That means I got good entry. So even when the SPY closed at 395, that makes a profitable trade. Now, if you enter at 394.77 and you say the SPY is going up and it drops $1 and then it finishes higher, you're going to be flat at the end of the day, which is why when you day trade, entry and exit are most important. You can't F around. You can't enter a trade at 9:45 and be wrong. It's better to wait. And the best entry yesterday would have been right before 2 p.m. because that's when the markets were at the worst and that is when they rebounded. Yes, we saw a couple of double bottoms, but that's what I'm thinking. Oh, I see somebody asking about Boeing. So yeah, great question. Let me pull up Boeing real quick. On longer trades, say you want to get into Boeing calls because Boeing looks strong. I mentioned the airlines look strong. We had the most travel over the last weekend dating back to 2019. So if you want to get bullish on the airlines or cruise ships or Dow-related stocks, I would look at something like Boeing. I was going to mention Boeing is one of the stocks because I've noticed airlines and cruise ships have found support. Again, if the market dumps on itself and we have a bear run to the end of the year, I don't want to be in anything call related. But if the market has a bullish run and PCE and CPI is down and the Fed's less hawkish and more dovish and rates come down or they stabilize, shit, I want to be in Boeing. I want to be in United. I want to be in Carnival. I almost entered Carnival Cruise Lines. Why didn't I enter the options yesterday? Because I suck with Carnival. I am 0-3 in Carnival. Every time I think I'm going to make a play on Carnival, I do. I'm right, and then I'm wrong. So yesterday, Carnival was trading at $9.36, and I'm telling myself, I see support in Boeing. I see support in the airlines. I see support in Carnival. Let me buy these options. They expire this week. They were the $9 calls. I think I was going to pay 52 cents each. Then Carnival shot up to $9.80. And if Carnival has a strong day today, not saying they will, they'll be up over $10, be up over 100%. But since I'm 0-3, 0 wins, 3 losses with Carnival, I stay away from Carnival. Simple as that. But Boeing, yes. I mean, if you're a long-term investor and you're looking at stocks, not even options, I think Boeing is a great company. They're the leader in the industry. What do you want? Boeing and Airbus, leaders providing all the jets and everything like that. Okay, so I mentioned my strategies for today, and I'm going to get into the stocks. But yesterday, again, too early, guilty. Flip-flop, I went from puts to calls. Guilty, I was flipping and flopping in the market. If you trade that way and you have a broken strategy, it's not going to work. You could have a strategy saying, I'm bullish, I'm going to wait for the bottom, I'm going to buy calls. You could have a strategy, I'm bearish, I'm going to wait for the market to reject, and I'm going to buy puts. However, you can't go, I'm going to buy puts here, calls here, because you're going to confuse yourself unless you're the best traders in the world. And I'm not even, and I'm assuming you guys aren't the best traders in the world. We're all looking to get an added bonus. So me, flip-flop, bad. Rushing into a trade, bad. Worst case, everything funnels into it, over trading. I remember when I used to hang out with Carlos, he used to come over, we were setting up the studio, and I'd be like, hey, I just made 8,000 in this trade, 6,000 in this trade. Hey, I'm going into Riot or Mara. This is like back a year. I'm like, I went in with a $19,000 position. I'm up $12,000. Instead of securing profit, I went from up 12,000 to down 16,000. I was up 8,000 earlier in the day. I ruined my day by over trading. And I've had similar days to that year ago experience recently where I'm like, okay, I win, make 40%, make another 40%. Oh, I'm going to enter another trade because I'm hot as fire. And what happens? I'm wrong about the third trade. Then I double down my position. And then I turn an extra green day into a flat or maybe even a slightly red day. Worst thing in the world. What do? You're upsetting your psyche here. So please don't overtrade. Don't rush in. Please show patience. Every day I tell myself I'm going to wait at least till 10:30 or 11 a.m. And what do? I enter a small trade. I'm like, hey, I grabbed 2 of these options. I grabbed 3 of these options. What does it make me do? It makes me not hold long enough. So that's one of my problems. Again, those ADP puts, 5 minutes after I sold, 50% on the table. I got that drop I was looking for. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of different stocks. If you guys have stocks, mention them. But again, my tracker today, Apple. Why? Because Apple should have support at 140. If Apple breaks support at 140, 135 is the next level. If Apple support at 140, the SPY is going to go down from 395 to 392. All right, maybe even less. So let's get into the SPY, and then I'll mention some stocks. Okay, SPY support levels, zoom out, okay? Not all are going to be hit today. 389. Yes, we're 6 points or 1.5% from 389. 389 would be a major support on the SPY. If we happen to drop and it's a red day in the market, I'm looking for support at 389. Next, 392. 392 possibly can get hit. We saw 393.30. Again, if it's a volatile day, ups and downs, head and shoulders, but a little more bearish, 392 is on the table. If 392 gets hit, I expect it to bounce off that. Then we have 395, where we closed at yesterday. My prediction yesterday, which I made when the SPY was under that. I think the SPY was 393 and change. I said we're going to close at 395. I was off by 23 cents. Why did I say 395? Because that's a major level of support or resistance. So even if we start the trading out and you're like, okay, 395, go to 397. Oh, look, we're going to break higher. We're going to break higher. No, it's a fake out. Volume's extremely light. Oh, we passed 395. We're back at 393. Could be similar to yesterday. So please, if you're bullish, you don't want to be buying calls right here because you're paying too much because of the anticipation that we're going to go higher. That's why I like to take a contrary or a contrarian position when the market looks strong. As long as we know we're trading in a range, I'll take a bearish position up here like I did 2 days ago when I got into my SPY puts. No, Monday. Yeah, SPY was pressing 402.50 and I'm like, that's a rejection area. Got into SPY puts at 402. It went higher to 402.60 and I'm like, holy shit. My SPY puts, I was in at $1.04, went all the way down to 79 cents before they exploded all the way close to $3. So yes, I was down 25% to start all the way up to plus 200%. Now I got out at 235, which I made 111% on the trade. I didn't get the best trade out of it. Okay, so thoughts on Disney catching support, CCL, Amazon. So here's my helpful tip for you guys. Okay, so say you're looking at Amazon, Tesla, Apple. They're all going to run together. Google, they're all considered big tech. So if you're thinking, and somebody said, hey, what are your thoughts on Amazon? They're all going to run together. You need to follow big tech. Have it in a grouping. Tesla, Apple, Amazon, Google. Look at the movement. Now, if you see in one stock, and I saw this the other day, yesterday, should I forget the name of the stock? But I saw a huge block trade in a bearish position. So what did it tell me? It told me all of its friends and relatives were going down. Meaning, let's just say it was on Amazon and Amazon had a negative big block trade and you saw Amazon just take a dip. Well, guess what? Microsoft, Google, Apple, Tesla, they're all going to follow. You just saw it first. So you use information like that. More questions. Someone's saying, hey, can you look at Carnival Cruise Lines, Disney, Delta Airlines? Again, these are all Dow-related stocks. Now, understand the Dow was up 14% in October. November was up 7%. This month, it's up 3%, or something like that. Last week, it's up 3%. You're talking about 24% movement in less than a 2-month period. So yeah, Delta Airlines, Disney, CCL, they're all going to move together. Okay, what do I anticipate from the market from Jerome Powell's speech today? So again, Powell, I don't know. If I was in Powell's head, I would say this. They're doing a good job. This is what I would tell myself as the Fed. Whatever we're doing, it's working right now. We're doing a good job. The markets haven't become unstable. They're not going through the roof. Job numbers are coming down. The thing is, we can't let off the gas. All right, they let off the gas. They say pivot. The market shoots up, and we're still going into recession next year. So rates will go settle, but then no one will be buying. I mean, it's just not a good move. So the Fed has to be hawkish. Okay, thoughts on Snowflake earnings, and then someone's asking right here, Snowflake's earnings, and then CrowdStrike. So here's what I do. You got to stick with me for a minute because I'm going to remove something from the stream, and then I'm going to add the Discord so we can look at these stocks together. So share screen. Let's do it. And I'll show you what big money is doing. Okay, so let's share the screen, go back to StreamYard, add it to the stream. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's look at CrowdStrike first for Jennifer. So what I will do is I will go over to Discord, and I'll make it larger for you guys when we get there. But I'm going to go over to Discord, and let's see, here we go. Algos and flows. Here's the room. And it tells you how to do it. Say you want to join our Discord. There's instructions on what to type in, and you get 7 free days when you join our Discord. But again, I'll go to the bottom. I will type in TR, and we'll look at the flow sum for crowd, CRWD. And the flow, well, there's not enough information there, so we'll do net flow for CRWD. I put in the initials correctly, I hope. Okay, so here we go. So let me make it nice and big, and then I'll explain what this means, okay? This is net premiums versus the stock price. So if you take a look at the white line, that is the stock price. As you can see, the stock price is going higher. You can see volume is coming down. Now, the cost of calls, which is this green line, is coming down significantly. So people aren't that interested in calls anymore because they think the price is pretty frothy right now. However, the price on puts is still way below calls as far as premium. So what you'd want to see is, if you're going to be bullish on this stock, you want to see this green turn around, and then you'll like to see the price go higher. Me, I would stay away. I would be more likely to probably grab some puts here as the put line is going up, call line is going down. That's my thought process on that one. Let's just see if we can get a big flow on there. Let's see if we have any big flow. Big flow, CRWD. Nope, no big flow. Big flow basically tells everybody where big money is going. So, somebody said, how much is your Discord? Well, it's 7 days free trial. But if you're going to join Discord, it's $34.99 a month. Now, understand the flow and algos room and everything else that I show you around there. Let me just show you what else is there. Okay, golden sweeps, option sweeps, trading flow, dark pool orders. Understand 50% of trading volume happens in the dark pool. So it shows you if it's a bullish or bearish position. This would be green. It's a bullish position. It's telling you someone bought, and it tells you how much percentage of the float is there. So again, a trade of 43,000 shares, $4 million, percentage of the float, 0.16. Nothing major. You can go up. You could probably see a 1% or something. Here we go. 1%er. So something like this, SBOW. Don't even know what it is, but they traded 1.33% of the float. That's a huge trade right there. So again, I would be looking at a bullish thing. So there are just things. Then you can use bullseye. Anyway, so that's what the Discord costs. That's what we offer. I'm there giving market direction, okay? Because we know I'm early and late on trades. Some people like to follow my trades. They put it on their watch list when I'm down 20%. They enter. But I like to give market direction. I'm very good at that. Love is awesome at teaching. And then you got Romeo doing his live streams. And then again, new member of the team, give him a tryout. Chuki, dude's on fire. Named like 7 trades yesterday. 6 of them were profitable. 529% if you add up all of his winners yesterday. So let's just see what else we have on tap. Any other questions? Okay, let me get back into the stocks I was looking at. All right, because there are certain stocks that I will play in a bullish case scenario and a bearish case scenario. So again, Apple, I'm looking to see if Apple has support at 140. If it breaks 140, and I think it's heading to 135, I'll go into some Apple puts when the market spikes. Again, I expect volatility. Amazon turned negative. Amazon was yesterday. AMD turned negative. So again, those AMD puts, I probably should have held them the entire week. Disney, again, negative. I mentioned that going in. So let's get into Boeing. If the market turns red today, I don't want to be in Boeing yet. Why? Because Boeing, if you look at it, is at the top of the chart right now. So great entry for Boeing would have been right in here. That's when you have to get Boeing. When you see the directional change, you don't want to chase, because if you chase Boeing at the high end and you decide to get into calls and it consolidates back to an interim level between the low and the high where you got in at, you're losing money. Whereas Boeing can be a great investment longer term. Okay, so again, shorter term stocks, okay? Let's just see. Again, I mentioned the Carnival, interesting stock that moves a lot of movement. TDoc, Teladoc, which is a health company, down as low as 26, up as 27. So meaning, if the market decides to run and it's bullish, a company like TDoc as compared to like a Google and Apple, let's say the market gets bullish, Apple's up 1%, Google's up 1%, Amazon's up 1%. A company like TDoc could be up 7 or 8%. A company like Affirm or Upstart could be up 7 or 8%. Same with Rivian, a Plug or something like that. Vice versa is true. Say the markets get hurt, the speculative plays, the Rivian, the Roblox, the Plug, Upstart, Lucid, Carvana, they all could get hurt pretty significantly. So again, I'm on the sidelines. If you want to watch oil's been interesting lately. Again, there's inflow into oil companies. They're off the tops by about 4 or 5%. So that might be an interesting play. You might look at the XLE. Again, you're looking for the top or the bottom. When I day trade, and this is a mistake I've made lately, I go, okay, it could go a little higher. I get into puts. It can go a little higher, but I'm going to get into puts anyway. No, that little higher matters significantly. The time that you're losing matters significantly. So I'm going to show so much patience today. My strategy is I'm taking my account. I'm making one trade. I'm going to call myself a winner at the end of the day. And what am I looking for this one trade? 50%. I'm either looking for the market to be frothy and I'm going to call the top and I'm going to get in puts. And once I make my 50%, I'm out, call myself a winner. I don't care if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 30 minutes that I'm trading. That is what it is. It's all about execution. On the other end, if we see a day like yesterday and we see something like this and we get that crown top and then we bottom down here, what am I going to do? I'll wait till 2 p.m. I'll wait till 2 p.m. I'll find the best trade at 2 p.m. I'll take my 50% profit on my one trade. I'll make, whatever it is, $1,000, $2,000, $800. Doesn't matter. I'm not looking to hit grand slams every day. If I can pocket 500 here or 1,000 here every day, my accounts are going to grow significantly, and it happens in a short amount of time. With that said, appreciate everybody joining me. If you like this, please give me a thumbs up. Everything YouTube does is algorithms. Share it with your friend. I'm here every morning. Thank you so much. I got to get over to Discord now.